nobody closer than my mother for me to have taken inspiration from for Devika's character. Because Devika's character is also from West Bengal. She's born and brought up there. So for me, it was important to connect her to somebody who I know personally and that close. The whole point with this film is that if it can cause awareness and it can help children reunite with their parents, it would be a wonderful thing through this film. Entertainment doesn't necessarily mean that you have to dance and you have to sing and you have to, laugh and be happy.
Rani, or should I say Mrs. Chatterjee, welcome to Peeping Moon.
Thank you.
I've just seen the film and I cannot tell you when I've seen a movie that has moved me more emotionally than this. It's a very positive, very inspiring, very uplifting film.
Right.
And it was a real pleasure to see you enacting that role.
Thank you. I'm so glad you enjoyed the film, and I'm glad that you're doing this interview after watching the film, because it means so much to me when my colleagues, which are all of you all, when you all say good things about the film, it's really really makes me very, very happy and relieved, actually.
It does.
It does.
Well, it's worth it. Really, it's worth it. It's worth the effort, and it's really, really a good movie from the heart.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I'm a great admirer of your cinema, and you've got an appreciable volume of work behind you. But has any role left you as emotionally satisfied and fulfilled as Mrs. Chatterjee?
I would have to say that there have been many, many films that I've done, including Hichki, Mardani, franchise, Black.
Black, yeah.
So a lot of those films, even in terms of my romantic films, those have been quite emotionally charged films as well. Whether it was Kabhi Alvida Na Kehna or Hum Tum, even for that matter, Mujhse Dosti Karoge or Sathiya, those have been also emotional roller coaster rides. So I think with every film, I think what I try to capture or I try to do is portray an Indian woman to the best of my ability, and try and take a leaf out of people who I know personally, and give the characters a special moment for people to kind of relate with.
I understand you didn't want to meet the real character of this movie.
Yeah.
That's because you didn't want people to see similarities between the role and the real person.
Yes.
But yet, when she saw the movie, she said she gave you full marks for that.
Right.
How did you manage this?
I think she might have connected with the emotional channeling that I did through the role of Devika. Because at the end of the day, I was living Sagarika's life in the film. So obviously she might have got connected with her journey, which she kind of has gone through personally. For me, it was important to make Devika very unique and special. And I wanted every mother in any part of the world to relate with her. Not only a Bengali mother, but mother who are there like in any part of the world, because it's a universal I would say, emotion that a child and a mother feel for each other. So for me, it was portraying an emotion, portraying a pain, portraying the strength of the lady who kind of fought through, battled through, and did not give up the fight, and finally won her children back. So it is a film of hope, courage, resilience, pain, a lot of things, longing, mother's love. So it's a bit of all those different emotions rolled into one film.
Devika did not really meet Sagarika.
Yeah.
But you took inspiration from your real mother.
Yeah.
How did you do that?
So my mother has been married in Bombay for last 50 years. She got married when she was 21. But she is still very much the Bengali Krishna Roy that she left behind 50 years back. There has been no change in the way she speaks. There has been no change in the way she has stayed connected to her roots as a Bengali. Whether it is the way she brought me and my brother up, the instances of a Bengali mother feeding her children with her hands, or sleeping with their children in the same bed, all the cultural things that makeup for a mother, like an Indian mother, is something that I have experienced with my mom. And nobody closer than my mother for me to have taken inspiration from for Devika's character. Because Devika's character is also from West Bengal. She's born and brought up there. So for me, it was important to connect her to somebody who I know personally and that close.
Having said that, have you brought up your daughter on the same lines? Do you feed her by your hand and do you sleep with her in her bed? Or does she sleep with you?
Not
Are there
always.
similarities?
No, not always.
But when she was younger?
When she was younger, of course. But of course, we are modern parents, so we have baby cots and all of those things. But there are so many times where I've slept with Adira in the same bed when she's not well or when she has fever. Those are times when children need their mothers the most. And also Adira finds it fascinating to eat with her hand because that's what she sees me do. And for her, that's a very Bengali trait because when she eats with the hand, she feels that she's making me very happy. And she says that, see, Mama, I'm so Bengali like you because I love eating with the hand. So, yeah, so.
Was it easier for you to play this role because it was easy for you to speak Bengali and you know the culture, you know the mannerisms and the pronunciation of words?
Yeah, so the thing is that I'm born and brought up in Bombay. So obviously I don't speak Hindi and English like a Bengali would, like my mom would. Because she's born and brought up in West Bengal. And there's a certain nuanced like a accent that comes when you are a Bengali and you sound like a Bengali, but I don't because I'm born and brought up in Maharashtra and in Bombay. But my mother has that. And I've tried to replicate that in my character because I thought that would be really authentic. The whole idea behind the film was to make the film very, very authentic and not portray something which is trying to take liberties to try and cater to pan-India. We wanted it to be a pan-India film with being very, very real and authentic to what the subject is. So if it is a Bengali family living in Norway, we wanted to make the Bengali family look very authentic and real.
Okay. Now you're talking about wanting to make the film authentic, but you never met the real character.
Right.
Did you read her book?
No. All my understanding of Sagarika was through the numerous Zoom calls that she's done with my director.
You saw those videos?
Yes. And of course, the interactions that Ashima has had with her. So whether it was understanding Devika's inner struggle or her emotions or what she went through, those were things that I did. But to try and be like Sagarika, I thought that could get very, very caricaturish, which I didn't want.
But yet you come across like her, exactly.
Because every Bengali who you meet, you'll find the similarities between Devika and a Bengali. Because she is a typical Bengali lady. And if you meet more Bengalis in Calcutta, you'll find similarities in most of those women.
Okay. Now, Nikhil Advani said that there was nobody else he had in mind for this role but you. Did you ask him why he said that?
No. No, I didn't ask.
In hindsight, having seen the movie, I would agree with him. But there must have been something about you that triggered that thought in him. You did not...
That you'll have to ask him.
Was it easier for you to bond with your daughter after getting into this character, after playing this role? Every day when you went home from the shooting, did you take some of Mrs. Chatterjee home with you?
No,
did your emotions change?
See, for me, Sagarika was always there subconsciously in my mind. She's there even right now while I speak to you. And from the time I've heard her story in 2021, Jan, when I heard the story for the first time, she has remained with me because for me, her courage, her resilience, her never give up attitude is something that I as a person personally salute. Because it's not easy to fight an entire governance, entire country. It's not easy to fight law and order and, she's been lucky. Not all parents are lucky who are suffering this. So the whole point with this film is that if it can cause awareness and it can help children reunite with their parents, it would be a wonderful thing through this film. For me to be able to get out of character was important because I personally did not put myself in those shoes because it's too painful to even think about a feeling like that, what Sagarika went through in her personal life. As a mother, I would not like to put myself in those shoes. It's too painful. It's something that a parent cannot begin to even imagine. So for me, I channeled Devika through my mother. What would my mother do if me and my brother were taken away from her? So I was trying to channel Devika through the numerous women, mothers who I know personally, because that was easier for me to do. I couldn't put myself there. And also, children are very aware of their mother's emotions. So I didn't want to bring that baggage back home for my daughter to feel that she had to have her mother back. She couldn't get, she should not have got anyone else but her mother. And in the form that she wants her mother to be happy.
Will you be showing her this film?
No, because she insisted to see the trailer because she convinced me that, Mama, I know you're performing, you're acting. I would like to see the trailer because I was there during the shoot. So I said, okay. And the minute the trailer started, she was fine. And when the scene came where the children were taking away from me, she couldn't take it. She started bawling. So for me, I think it's going to take a little more time to differentiate between me, the actor, and me, her mother. So it'll take her time to watch the film.
Did the mother in you come out when you were acting? Because the
I'm
scenes
sure
where
it
you
must
bond
have.
with the children are very natural.
I'm sure it must have, because a woman transforms into another person after she becomes a mother. Like, I'm definitely a different human being than I was before I got my child. So I'm sure there has to be certain things that would have come out organically from my being when I performed this role.
Did the child actors in the movie also sense that? Because they take to you very, very naturally, like they're your very own.
Yes, absolutely. I'm sure they must have felt that. I'm sure. Because mothers tend to become very loving towards other people's children as well. It's a natural instinct that, women have once they become mothers. You start loving every children, every
Okay.
child that they know.
Would you describe this as an art house movie?
No.
No.
No, why should films be categorized into
No, I'm asking
art or commercial?
because at a time when the industry is trying to get audiences back to
Right.
theaters,
Right.
You've got a movie coming out that's entirely about awareness. You're telling the world about something that we know about, but we don't really focus on. I mean, it's not my problem,
Right.
but it's about awareness more than entertainment. That's why I asked.
I think this is also entertainment, because when you are watching a film and if it moves you, it is entertaining you in a different format. Entertainment doesn't necessarily mean that you have to dance and you have to sing and you have to, laugh and be happy.
You mean it emotionally moves you?
Of course. So if it moves you emotionally, it is entertaining you in a different way.
What has? The character in the movie, the male character, he's shown as being someone who just works, doesn't take any role in the household work and looking after the children. How different is that in real life between you and your husband? Do you all both share responsibilities with your daughter?
Yes, of course.
Yeah?
Yes.
He's fully occupied, hands-on?
Yes.
That's good. Have you seen any other movie or read any book on a similar subject like this way, where there's a mother fighting to get her child?
No.
I know there was one made long ago, Shakti,
Okay.
where Karishma Kapoor tries to get her daughter back,
Yes.
and courthouse dramas and all that. You've not
Yes.
seen anything.
No.
So you've just gone into this movie and done your role.
Yes, because this subject and this incident that happened in reality really moved me. Because when I heard about it from Nikhil the first time, I thought he was joking. And I thought he wasn't saying the truth. So I actually went and researched and Googled, and I realized that the Indian media had picked up quite a bit in 2011.
Yeah.
But the sad part is that me being an Indian citizen, I was not aware of this case. And that triggered my feeling that we need to make a film about this subject, about this story. And many more people need to be aware of this. Because when you're living in a country and when you talk about people living abroad, you don't actually see the trials and tribulations that they go through when they're living abroad. We only see the rosy picture about how people are happy living abroad. But there's so much chatter now that I'm getting to hear after the trailer has released, that people are talking about what they go through in their day-to-day life living abroad. And that has started a lot of conversation.
Yeah.
So this is a film that I needed to create awareness with. So for me, it's very important that because I connected to this film, that is the reason I connected to the film, because I wanted many more people get aware of this situation, what an Indian family went through outside a country.
Apart from the chatter, this is a film and this is a role that is also getting you a lot of love. How does that feel?
It always makes me happy and smile, because as actors, we are living for what other people think of our work. It is, we can't work hard in isolation. I can't say that, oh, I'm working hard and not give importance to what people think about my work. I am in a profession where audience's reaction, their opinion of my work matters to me the most, because that's the reason why I work so hard, that an audience can see my work and appreciate it. So when they appreciate it, it just makes me feel happy, because I feel at least I have whatever hard work that I've gone through or whatever I have done throughout the making of the film, that is kind of redeeming my hard work. So that give and take between me and my audience, or me and the press, or the media, or the critics, has always been very, very special, because the more I get to know people's reaction, the more I get to know where I stand as an actor today. So it makes me very happy.
Good. On a more personal note, there's a similar situation right now happening in Germany.
Right.
Where there's this lady by the name of Dhara Shah fighting for her daughter.
Right.
As somebody whose voice is heard, as an actress of renown, what advice would you have for this lady?
For me, I would only say one thing. I pray with my film there is a lot of awareness created, and I hope justice prevails soon and children are reunited with the parents, because there's no greater pain than for a parent to be away from their children. And I hope that justice is served soon, and that's all, because as a person who's not going through that pain, we can't imagine what they must be personally going through. I have been able to tap into some of that emotion because of this film, because of Sagarika, because of what she went through. But Sagarika's story is still a happier story, because she won her kids back. So it is a story of triumph. That's why this movie is made, so that many people get to know that a lot of parents are suffering, being away from their children. And I hope their suffering ends and they get to be reunited with their children.
Rani, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good luck with the movie.
Thank you.